Good morning, my dear students of class 12 of all the streams Science, Commerce and Humanities. Once again, I am back with my video class of English where I will be dealing with the chapter Journey to the End of the Earth by Tishani Doshi. In the previous class, I have already explained to you page numbers 18, 19 and 20. Today I will explain to you page numbers 21 and 22. Moreover, I will give you some meanings of the words from this chapter. So students, take out your book, that is Vistas, page 21 and page number 22. I will be explaining to you right now. Follow my explanation. So students, look into your books, page number 21. The very first paragraph deals with the objective of the program Students on Ice. Students on Ice, the program I was working with on the Shokalski, aims to do exactly this by taking high school students to the ends of the world and providing them with inspiring educational opportunities which will help them foster a new understanding and respect for our planet. It's been in operation for 6 years now, headed by Canadian Geoff Green, who got tired of cutting celebrities and retired rich curiosity seekers who could only give back in a limited way. With Students on Ice, he offers the future generation of policymakers a life-changing experience at an age when they are ready to observe, learn, and most importantly, act. What do these lines mean? The author, that is Tishani Doshi, has been in Antarctica on an expedition with Students on Ice, a program that takes young minds to the ends of the world, which helps in inspiring them to work towards our planet. It was started with the vision of providing life-changing experiences to the future generation of policymakers to learn about the planet at a very early age. The initiative was introduced by Geoff Green, who got tired of his regular job once he got rich and wanted to give it back in some way. Students, look into the second paragraph of page number 21, which will give you the answer why has been the program Students on Ice so successful. The reason the program has been so successful is because it's impossible to go anywhere near the South Pole and not be affected by it. It's easy to be blase about polar ice caps melting while sitting in the comfort zone of our respective latitude and longitude, but when you can visibly see glaciers retreating and ice shelves collapsing, you began to realize that the threat of global warming is very real. So, students, see, the program that is Students on Ice, has been immensely successful in implementing its vision. By the way, people get affected by seeing the real scenario, because it is very easy to sit at home and talk about real issues, but actually seeing glaciers retreating and ice shelves collapsing, it gives one a glimpse into the future. It tells one that the very threat of global warming is real. So students, look into your textbook where the next paragraph, it deals with effect of climatic change. Antarctica, because of her simple ecosystem and lack of biodiversity, is the perfect place to study how little changes in the environment can have big repercussions. Take the microscopic phytoplankton, those grasses of the sea that nourish and sustain the entire Southern Ocean's food chain. These single-celled plants use the sun's energy to assimilate carbon and synthesize organic compounds in that wondrous and most important of processes called photosynthesis. Scientists warn that a further depletion in the ozone layer will affect the activities of phytoplankton, which in turn will affect the lives of all the marine animals and birds of the region, and the global carbon cycle. In the parable of the phytoplankton, there is a great metaphor for existence. Take care of the small things and the big things will fall into place. What does this paragraph mean? It is one of those places with limited biodiversity and thus has a less complicated ecosystem. As a result, little changes in its environment can have drastic effects. For instance, the microscopic phytoplankton are grasses of the sea that sustains the entire Southern Ocean's food chain. Now, it has been recently concluded by scientists that a further depletion in the ozone layer can affect the activities of these single-celled plants and affect the marine life altogether. Thus, in this case, the saying comes true: take care of the small things and the big things will fall into place. Now students, look into page number 22, the subheading Walk on the Ocean. So in this paragraph, we will find when the narrator returned, she was still wondering about the beauty of balance in play on our planet. Walk on the Ocean was the most thrilling experience of the visit. All the 52 persons on board put on breathable waterproof clothing and sunglasses. Look into your text. My Antarctic experience was full of such epiphanies, but the best occurred just short of the Antarctic Circle at 65.55 degrees south. Now students, just see why the narrator here told that my Antarctic experience was full of such epiphanies. She considers the walk on the Antarctic Ocean as her best experience. They had a meter thick ice pack under their feet. Below it, there was 180 meters of living, breathing salt water. On the periphery, crab-eater seals were stretching and sunning themselves on ice sheets of floating ice. They seemed like stray dogs enjoying themselves in the shade of a banyan tree. Now, again you look into your textbook. The Shokalsky had managed to wedge herself into a thick white stretch of ice between the peninsula and Tadpole Island, which was preventing us from going any further. The captain decided we were going to turn around and head back north, but before we did, we were all instructed to climb down the gangplank and walk on the ocean. So there we were, all 52 of us, kitted out in Gore-Tex and glares, walking on a stark whiteness that seemed to spread out forever. Underneath our feet was a meter-thick ice pack, and underneath that 180 meters of living, breathing salt water. In the periphery, crab-eater seals were stretching and sunning themselves on ice floes much like stray dogs will do under the shade of a banyan tree. It was nothing short of a revelation. Everything does indeed connect. 9 time zones, 6 checkpoints, 3 bodies of water, and many ecospheres later, I was still wondering about the beauty of balance in play on our planet. How would it be if Antarctica were to become the one place that it once used to be? Will we be around to see it? Or would we have gone the way of the dinosaurs, mammoths, and woolly rhinos? Who's to say? But after spending 2 weeks with a bunch of teenagers who still have the idealism to save the world, all I can say is that a lot can happen in a million years, but what a difference a day makes. So, see students, these 2 paragraphs, the narrator wanted to convey that for all it took for her to travel from Madras to Antarctica, the 9 time zones, checkpoints, and various bodies of water, the author pondered upon the capability of nature to maintain its balance. She also wondered what it would be like if Antarctica, the place that houses over 90% of world's ice, becomes warm again. Tishani Doshi also wonders if we will be there to see it if it ever happens. But who knows? Thus, by seeing the spirit of teenagers who still are left with the courage to save the world, she talks about the uncertainty of events that can happen over a million years. So, as I told you, while I started to explain or to read this paragraph, that is Walk on the Ocean, I have already told you that here it was the most thrilling experience of the visit of Tishani Doshi. They climbed down the gangplank and walked on the ocean. They were 52 in all, in number. They were walking on a meter-thick ice pack. Under the ice pack, there was 180 meters of living, breathing salt water. Seals were enjoying themselves in the sun on ice. The narrator was wondering about the beauty of the place. She wished it would not become a one place as it used to be millions of years ago. If it happens, the result can be catastrophic. So students, with this I come to the end of the chapter, as well as I have completely explained to you the chapter. And let me tell you one thing, don't forget to put your attendance in the comment box. Is it clear to you? Now you take down some meanings of the words from this chapter, Journey to the End of the Earth. Meanings of some important words. Number 1, expansive, covering wide area in terms of wide space or scope. Extensive. Number 2, profound, very great or intense. Number 3, isolation, separation. Number 4, landmass, a continent or other large body of land. Number 5, amalgamated, combine or unite to form one structure. Number 6, supercontinent, a former large continent from which other continents are held to have broken off and drifted away. Number 7, thrived, prosper or flourish. Number 8, Cordilleran folds, an extensive chain of mountains or mountain ranges. Number 9, Precambrian granite shields, large areas of relatively low elevation that forms part of continental masses. Number 10, mind-boggling, overwhelming or startling. Number 11, frigid, very cold in temperature. Number 12, desolate, of a place, will be within brackets, uninhabited and giving an impression of bleak emptiness. Number 13, surreal, unusual or bizarre. Number 14, austral, relating to the southern hemisphere. Number 15, ubiquitous, everywhere, pervasive. Number 16, avalanche, snowslide. Number 17, calving, split and shade. Number 18, consecrates, make or declare sacred. Number 19, immersion, submerge. Number 20, prognosis, a forecast of the likely outcome of a situation. 21, paltry, petty or insignificant. Number 22, ruckus, a row or commotion. Number 23, etching, engraved. Number 24, unmitigated, unconditional. Number 25, pristine, in its original condition or unspoiled. 26. Bliss. Unimpressed with or indifferent to something because one has experienced or seen it so often before. Students, today's class is up to this much, and in the next class you will be ready with your pens and English copies, because in the next class I will be giving you, or I will be discussing with you some of the important points from this chapter, Journey to the End of the Earth by Tishani Doshi. Those points will help you to write the questions and answers which I will be giving you on the last class of the chapter Journey to the End of the Earth by Tishani Doshi. There I will be giving you some short answer type questions, long answer type questions and textual based questions. But before that I will be discussing the points with you all, some of the important points. So thank you students for today. Bye bye.